blah 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 blah, sound. 1, 2. I'm Ben Holder, and I play the violin, the piano. I sing as well in my own band, the Ben Holder Quartet, and we're a jazz band. And at the moment, we're touring a Christmas show all over the place, really. But tonight in St Giles, Oxford, is the best place to be. So I started off on the violin when I was about 6. And I started off classically. I started off at school with the school. There was like a peripatetic violin teacher. She came round and I started off, and I don't really ever remember it being hard. And so I kind of picked that up quite fast, I think. And I kind of done a lot of my grades by the time I was about 10 or 11. So I kind of, I knew very early on that I wanted to do something with the violin. I was inspired by a lot of musicians when I was growing up. I was massively into the Beatles. I think that you're not going to get into jazz too young. I think it's quite rare to get into jazz before you say you're a teenager, because it is quite heavy sometimes. Queen as well, the band Queen, with Freddie Mercury, of course, such a showman. When I got into jazz when I was about 13 or 14, straight away I was into Stefan Grappelli, who's a very famous jazz violin player. This is what I'm trying to get at, is that everything I like, I do prefer to have a lot of musicality as well, because obviously as a musician I'm looking at the structure of a song and the chords, and that's really got to interest me, even more so than the lyrics quite a lot. I suppose the basis of all music are your scales and arpeggios. Like, you've got to nail them down. To be able to improvise well in jazz, in every key you want your scales and arpeggios. So that's, I know it sounds a really simple thing to say, but it's dead important. Hey, what's my proudest moment? No. What have I done? What have I done to be proud of? So my proudest moments when I finally started on my jazz journey. In fact, one of the first concerts, shows that I was asked to do, and it was completely by chance. It was kind of a question of a CD that I'd made in my mate's living room. Coincidentally, it just got passed along, you know, like Chinese whispers, really, just on, and it found its way into the lap of someone in the BBC Concert Orchestra. And from that, they asked me to go and play on the Friday Night is Music Night Radio 2 show, on the same show as Cliff Richard and Aled Jones. You know, it was about 700 people in the audience, there was a few million listening. And so that was like, wow, you know, there's actually something to this. So for myself, my journey hopefully will continue, like many musicians, hopefully till I die. You know, you do start off playing in the back of pubs and playing for audiences who perhaps aren't that interested, and it's kind of built up to the point now where I'm doing kind of paid shows with tickets. I always kind of look at it like a scale, you know, as long as I'm progressing every year and getting better as well. There's always a lot to learn. I personally like to perform with a lot of energy and a lot of excitement. I think jazz should be exciting. I kind of build my energy for the show that's happening later, and then when the show comes I'm like, boof, there we go, you get it all. If I don't leave the stage kind of knackered, sweating, out of breath, completely feel like I'm a fall over, if I don't leave the stage like that, I don't really feel like I've done a good show. I don't really feel like I've done a good job. Getting the music top and getting the energy top, that's what I'm all about. I'm a bit of a magician as well. I'm a bit of a budding magician, and I do shows with magic. I do a lot of festivals actually, where we kind of go around with a gym festival, and we go around with a friend of mine who also does magic, and it's a bit of an outlet really. You know, something is a bit different to music. It's still performing, but it's a different kind of art, isn't it? You know, magic. It's a different approach. So it's nice. It kind of gets your mind off playing for a little bit. It's getting cold, so cold, no good when it's getting old. No, I love Christmas, don't I? The show on Saturday is the show that we're doing a lot at the moment. We're doing a very Christmassy show, basically, with loads of Christmas songs that you do know, some Christmas songs you might not know. I'm just mental about Christmas, so I'm just well happy. So I'm looking forward to the whole night, really. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, it's good. But I suppose we're in the break now, aren't we? We're in the break of the show, so I hope you're enjoying it. Merry Christmas, one and all. So, where can you find me? You can find me at my house, but I'm not going to tell you where that is. But you can also find me on the internet, obviously, website www.benholdermusic.com. You know, I've got plenty of ways you can get in touch. You basically just go on the internet and type in Ben Holder Jazz, or try variations, Ben Ginger Jazz, Violin Man, I don't know. Spread the Christmas cheer and go and eat a Christmas pud.